Cartoons, the animated frontier. These are the voyages of the Cellcast podcast. Its continuing mission to explore strange new cartoons, to seek out new animation styles and new creative storytelling methods, to boldly go where so few ever go again.
Wrong? Okay. This progress is a part of Christian Reek Central Network. Wrong.
Hey, Scoop, what are you doing, man?
I don't know. I'm supposed to be reading an ad.
All right, hold on. Give me it.
Okay.
All right. This podcast is part of the Christian Geek Central Network at ChristianGeekCentral.com.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Cellcast,
The animated series.
Joining me today is a man who's going hunting, Jacob.
A hunting we will go. A hunting we will go. Go. Why, thank you. Why, thank you. I'd like to introduce our co-host, a man who just had to eat the last candy fruit. Welcome, Drew.
I was hungry, okay?
Okay, Snarf.
Today we're reviewing Season 1, Episode 18 of Thundercats 2011, Survival of the Fittest. So Jacob, tell us about this episode.
Panthro and Zachara decide that it's time for Wilykit and Kat to learn some hunting skills while they wait in the forest for Tiger and Lion-O to return
from Kitty Heaven.
Let the fend for themselves when they refuse to kill Kit and Kat run into trouble as they remember their past, why they separated from their families, and the hardships they endured as they began their life on their own as thieves.
Alrighty, so getting into the trivia for this one. In this episode, we learn about Wilykit and Wilykat's background, as well as seeing their father, mother, and two younger siblings. Also, Lion-O and Tiger do not appear in this episode, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
They're a little busy right now.
Just a little bit.
A touch. What did you think of this episode?
I thought it was let me count the ways of how great the story is. One, we actually get a story that is primarily focused on Wilykit and Kat.
Mm-hmm.
And we get their backstory, which is, to be frank, amazing.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting story that their father is killed in a tornado.
It's always the twisters.
Yeah, it's always the twister. It's the one that doesn't hit this house, but it hits your house.
Yes, and if you're not careful, it'll send you off into Oz.
Yeah, exactly. Where you got to deal with a bunch of stupid monkeys.
That's where their father went, by the way, as far as I'm concerned. He went to Oz.
And
is now having to deal with a scarecrow who wants a brain.
Okay. Makes sense.
And ironically, a lion.
Yeah.
Not brave, but still.
Yeah. Either way, I don't know. It's just there. Go ahead.
Admittedly, I was not expecting so soon after the last episode that we'd get another episode where we went into characters, the past of characters.
Yeah.
Especially with these two, because in so many ways, I've always felt, even before we watched this one, just based off what I remember of the original, that Wilykit and Wilykat were there for comedic fodder.
Pretty much.
That's primary. They're the kids that are in all Saturday morning cartoons, so that the kids at home will have someone to connect with, to feel like they're part of the adventure. It's the two regular human kids that are on the Super Friends sort of a thing with their stupid dog. Except in this case, it's a Snarf.
Yeah, it's a Snarf.
Even though technically the Snarf belongs to Lion-O, but that's beside the point.
Right.
So the fact that we actually get a really decent story for why they were on their own. It wasn't just, they're orphans. I mean, they actually do have at least a mother still alive out there somewhere, and two younger siblings. And they've had a very hard life, and it's you kind of feel sorry for them, how everyone's still looking down on them for how much they had to grow up so fast.
Oh yeah.
after the loss of their father,
Yeah.
essentially, because they were kind of in a tight spot after that.
Yeah, and they willingly walked away from their family in order to make it easier for a mother to provide for the two younger siblings, and their search for what is that place called? Hold on. City of
Eldara,
Yeah, while they look for the city of Eldara,
aka El Dorado.
Yeah, El Dorado, pretty much. Fun fact: I did watch a very funny, very insightful episode on the overly sarcastic podcast they do. Go into the city of gold, Eldara, or
El Dorado.
El Dorado, and that's a very interesting episode. If you're interested in that, go check it out. And then we understand they were mistaken as pickpockets, and then he just kind of fell into it.
Yeah,
and then you get their hesitation to kill an animal, to kill another animal, and that pays off.
Yeah,
that pays off with great dividends. That they wind up saving this family of, I don't know what they're called.
Chibs, according to this article I've got in front of me.
Chibs. Okay, that's an interesting character name. Or a Chib.
Chibs.
Huh. Okay, so they're called Chibs. Calls protects his family of Chibs, and the Chibs. That's funny to say.
Yeah.
Back to back Chibs. Reward the kits with fruit.
Yeah.
And now be like they have something to eat.
So I do have two smaller issues with their backstory here.
Okay.
Wilykit and Wilykat running away from home, while I understand their thought process,
Yes,
is only going to make their mother worried more in reality.
Yeah.
Because on one hand, it is going to mean there's two less mouths to feed.
Yeah.
But their mother is very much the I'm in love with all my kids
Yeah.
kind of a character. She's not someone, she's overworked, yes. And I'm sure at some point she wishes she didn't have to feed all these kids, or wishes her husband was there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she loves her family so much that she's working her butt off at a factory, I'm guessing. They never say where she's working. I really hope it's something on the pure side, because I've seen some anime where it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
But I mean, them running off, it's just gonna worry their mother more, and it might make her sink into depression that she couldn't take care of all of her children, and that might put their siblings in a weird spot.
That could possibly be. If they would have left a note what they were doing.
Yeah, maybe
instead of just running off.
Their pacifism doesn't actually teach them the lesson that Panthro and Shitar were trying to teach them.
That's true.
Yes, they got food, but it wasn't meat.
Yeah.
And they all wanted meat. So technically, they got food, but they did still technically fail the test.
Yeah, plus they didn't learn how to hunt. They
didn't learn how to hunt.
They just basically learned to protect another animal, and they got rewarded for it.
Now, I would say that Wilykit and Wilykat, being pickpockets, they in many ways know how to hunt.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because they do a pretty good job, especially in the next episode.
Yeah, they do.
They may not be used to going out and hunting and killing animals, but they are used to surviving on their own with no help from any adults. So I think they're going to be fine. They shouldn't have to be that way, but,
right.
It is what it is.
Yeah, they've survived on their own for quite a while, it appears.
It's hard to tell. I always kind of assumed it was about a year.
Roughly.
Between when they left the farm. Well, at least that's how it looks, because they look to be the same age.
Yeah.
That they are now when they left.
So ballpark a year.
Ballpark, yeah. So about a year.
Yeah.
I assume they had to live in Thundera just long enough to get as good as we saw them at the beginning of Omens.
Right.
At being pickpockets.
At their trade.
Yes.
If you can call it that.
Indeed. Do you have anything else to add before we end this one?
The way they wrangle the
Chibs?
No, it's not the Chibs.
Oh, the other thing. The Commelbur.
Commogore?
It says Commelbur.
Commelbur. Okay. Commelbur. Okay.
Yes.
That is a very... The animal designs...
Yes.
Besides the anthropomorphic are very interesting. Are very... Let's slap a bunch of designs together and make something that looks impressive. So when the kits wrangle the Commodore?
Commelber. I am
They're like-
estimating that's the pronunciation.
Yeah. But they're also using their skills they've learned as thieves.
Yeah.
And because Cat, is it Wilykit or Cat? The girl.
Kit.
When Wilykit uses her flute, and then Wilykat using his, I guess you would call him,
The slinger?
yeah, his slingers, the immobilizer.
slinger.
Well, technically, they captured meat, but then they only brought home
let
fruit.
They let it go.
They let it go. It's like you had him there, just have Lion-O butcher, not Lion-O, but Panther
Panther.
butcher him.
If Panther was there, he would have been.
Yeah.
But nope, that's not what happened.
Nope.
But
What's
they
it-
still got food, and apparently it was very delicious fruit.
Apparently.
So, maybe it wasn't candy fruit, but it may have been just as good.
Yeah. Maybe a little more nutritious.
Perhaps. Maybe more filling.
Maybe.
Because let's face it, apples and oranges are more filling than candy is.
That is so incredibly true.
Anyway, I think that is going to bring us to the end of this episode. So
think
join us
so.
next time for the episode The Pit. Come, Jacob. We must prepare for next week.
Prepare for what, Drew?
Same thing we do every week, Jacob. Record a podcast.
Oh, boy.
So where can they find you, Jacob?
They can find me on Facebook at Jacob B. Heron and Jacob's Daily Art Corner, my personal art Facebook page. On Twitter at Jacob B. Heron, on Instagram at Jacob B. Heron, and on Letterboxd at Jacob Heron. Where can they find you, Drew?
You can find me on Facebook at Drew Dodgen. You can also find my Facebook page at Drew's Photo Bin, where I upload my photography. You can also follow me on Letterboxd at GGeorge759 and Twitter at GGeorge759. Where can they find us, Jacob?
You can also visit our website, thecellcast.podbean.com, where you will find every episode we released and links to listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher. Our RSS feed, if we aren't in your favorite podcast app directory, please share, review, and subscribe to us there and share us with your friends.
You will also find a link to our Facebook group, the Double Feature Podcast Community, where we talk about both animated and live-action movies. We share this with our other podcasts, which we do with Jacob's brother Jim, at the Movie of the Week podcast, where we talk about live-action movies. You can also email us at thecellcastpodcast@gmail.com. Also, please like our page on Facebook. We try to post about upcoming movies. If you comment on that movie's post before we record, we'll read your comments in the episode. And remember, every time we say The Cellcast, that is with a single
Single L.